Fortnite has come a very long way since the original alpha days. What a lot of people don't know is there was actually a PvP mode within Fortnite that was cancelled way back in the day before Battle Royale was even a concept in Epic's mind. What is going on, guys? My name is 4G, so today we are going to be going over the Fortnite Weather the Storm PvP cancelled mode. This is a mode that was released only for a very limited amount of time back in November of 2015, so almost 10 years ago at this point now, a pretty long time ago, especially for a game like this. And there was only a total of 2 sessions, and the 2 total sessions that had this game mode available only had a max of 3 hours each, so 6 hours total that someone could actually be able to play this mode back in the day outside of Epic Games themselves. Now, I know that there are probably private servers and stuff like that going on nowadays that people do, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't believe that you can actually play with other players, even if you can load up the map with the alpha build of the game. I could be wrong about that, though. I'm not exactly sure, but regardless, let's get into how this game mode actually worked. So luckily, this person over on Reddit has made a very helpful graphic I am going to be using because it actually shows a bunch of the different items that you can see within this mode. So basically how it worked, each team would defend their own item, either a dino or a unicorn. So again, similar to other modes that we've had in Fortnite Battle Royale as LTMs that we'll get into in a bit. Very simple concept. Many games follow this, but that's not exactly all there is to it. Each team would have time to build their defenses and claim each other's toy before the husk encampments spawn. So pretty much you would go around and collect resources similar to how it is in Save the World and use that to build up your base to defend your core, aka either your dino or unicorn. Now, how you would get loot is there would be an icon that would appear on the minimap where loot camps would spawn. They would be tiers 0 through 6, and here's the different loot that you could see depending on the tier. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you actually had PvP in the sense of shooting at enemy players like it is in Battle Royale now, because by the sounds of it, a big aspect of this was controlling the storm so that the husks would attack the enemy's base. So based off of that, this would actually be a PvPvE mode, which is actually a lot more interesting than just PvP in my personal opinion, but maybe not everyone feels that way, which is why they transitioned over to Battle Royale years later. Because the way you would control the storm, aka the husks, would be you would collect blue glow and deposit blue glow into the weather towers, which would then make the storm stronger against the enemy's base. I think that this concept sounds absolutely amazing. Now, maybe it's not, maybe it was terrible. I don't exactly know because of course I didn't get to play it for myself and most people didn't get to play it. This was a very limited test session that they had this available. I think it's unfortunate though because I think the concept of it, even if it wasn't perfect originally, could have been far better if they actually took the time to tweak it, but instead they unfortunately just canned it and got rid of it. Now, there was actually a little bit more to it as well. There were team-based abilities. So there was on offense the big bomb. The big bomb would be made using the bomb base, which would be powered by blue glow placed in the blue glow deposit. The bomb would be used to attack the opposition base. There was also defenses, the laser fence, which was used to keep enemies and husks out by placing them around your base. I think that things like this are absolutely fantastic. I love the idea of base building to defend a particular item against enemies, and the fact that it's not just enemy players, which would be pretty simple. Most games that are PvP have this concept, but also having Save the World husks being a part of the mix, making it a real Save the World Fortnite PvP kind of experience. I think that that is absolutely the way it should have been from the beginning. I would love to see something like this again in the future. Now, do I believe that Battle Royale is better and it was the right direction for them to go instead of this? Absolutely. Battle Royale stood out far more than something like this. If it wasn't for Battle Royale, let's be completely honest, as much as I love Save the World, I do not think this game would be anywhere near as popular as it ended up being. And honestly, if it wasn't for Battle Royale, knowing Epic Games, how they did things with Paragon in the past, I do believe that Fortnite Save the World, even though it wouldn't have been called Save the World, it would have just been Fortnite, would have probably been shut down if it kept going in that direction. Now, maybe it wouldn't have been if it actually went free to play. Maybe it actually got all the content that it was supposed to get. Maybe it would have taken off. I don't exactly know. It's hard to say, but I don't think it would have been anywhere near as big as Battle Royale. So for the actual health of the game, I do think that Battle Royale was good for it, at least for that portion of the game. Of course, now that kind of resulted in Save the World not getting any attention and them completely cutting development for the most part, which that is definitely unfortunate. But regardless, we have seen something similar to this PvP mode in Battle Royale as an LTM, and that is Food Fight. Food Fight has a very similar concept, but it's not exactly the same thing. First of all, there's no husks, which is probably the reason that they cut it out in the first place. They wanted just straight up PvP, which would have simplified it, and it was a lot more simple in general because this was taking place in Battle Royale and not Save the World. There was no more crafting, there was no more blue glow, there was no more any of this extra stuff around. It was just get your weapons, build using basic materials because that's all you have. You only have level 1 materials in this mode because it's Battle Royale and not Save the World, where you can level up your walls, which I think was a lot more more interesting, of course, because it adds a little bit more depth to the base building. So it was just basic. You have wood, metal, and brick. That's absolutely it. And you would defend your base. It was very simple, very fast-paced, I guess. It was a fun mode. I really liked Food Fight, and I hope they bring that back in the future. But in comparison to what this particular mode sounds like, it is a dumbed-down, a lot simpler version that is not as replayable as this mode could have been, especially because it was only taking place on the Battle Royale map. It wasn't taking place on its own unique map like this Weather the Storm mode was. I think that they kind of fumbled with this. I think that this shouldn't have replaced Battle Royale at all. I think that's not how it should have been. Battle Royale was definitely a lot better for the game overall, but I do think that this should have not been completely canceled. I think that in its current state, it could have still been something fun, but again, I could have been wrong. I don't know. I think that their very limited testing might have hurt them with this mode. Maybe you needed a little bit more people to test it. I don't know. Again, it could have been horrible. It could have been a terrible game mode that was not fun at all, and that's why they cut it. I don't know. It's hard to say, like I said, but it'd be nice if they brought something like this back in the future, because I do believe it had a lot of potential to be a fun alternative mode, and that also makes me really hope to see something like this, even though if they ever did bring it back, it would be in a completely different form. It would not have Save the World husks, because for some reason they don't want anything to do with Save the World whatsoever anymore. They can't have husks in Battle Royale or creative. It has to be cube monsters, which I don't get that to this day. I think husks are far more interesting and they look a lot better than cube monsters, but for some reason they never allowed that in creative. They do not want anything to do with that, even though they'll take all the different materials like malachite or obsidian. They'll put that in creative, but they won't put the actual husks. I don't exactly know why, but regardless, I would love to see a completely brand new mode similar to Fortnite Reload, similar to Fortnite OG, where it's an official Epic Games made mode that is similar to this, with its own maps, with its own PvP type aspect where you can build up your defenses. It's PvP VE. I think that would be a very interesting mode with respawns, of course, because that would allow it to be a much more casual mode. I know people see Battle Royale as being more casual nowadays because there's bots, but I just don't believe that anything that is non-respawning is a casual game. It's just not really that casual. If you make the mistake and die and you're completely out of the game, yeah, it's not really that casual in my opinion. The fact in a mode like Weather the Storm, you would respawn and you could get right back to the action within 10 seconds or whatever, I think that is a far more casual experience. And I think Fortnite is really lacking that currently when it comes to their official modes that they're trying to push. So something based off of this original Weather the Storm mode, but completely new that Epic Games could make, I think that'd be an awesome thing to see. But who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, and we'll see if they ever do something of the sort. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you like to see a mode like this make a return? Do you think that it would have been better than Battle Royale, or do you think it looks absolutely terrible and you're glad that they cut it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here and you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.